a surprise. They don't know what race is, one skin scarred after many miles. I was there for all of them. She moves with a clunk and a sputter while I see how quick we leave this town. Stereo blasts as we fly, except when the speaker's out. Look down on me. We got 15 glasses empty, and now we're miles and miles and miles away, because together we have caught lightning. Ain't that enough? Ain't that enough? Ain't that enough? Within you are these memories prized. List them off one by one, a bag of earth, 3 novels entwined. A record of the things we've done. You followed me through 2 different lives, but now you're out into the sun. That fateful day in July, you died in an explosion. Look down on me. We got 15 glasses empty, and now we're miles and miles and miles away. And you know together we caught lightning. Ain't that enough? Ain't that enough? Ain't that enough? I made you my favorite excuse. If only my favorite words to abuse. But you'd give me just enough hope. I'd eat it up till I choke. Eyes blurry and vision askew. I need fire to give focus through the night. In its absence, indifference wildly searches blind. But now the closer I move, the flames reach out to consume until our senses have become nothing but suit.
Transition over. And voila.
Here we are.
We are on the internet
Terrifying place to be.
with our coffee.
I'm gonna go anywhere this early in the morning without my coffee.
I say I already drove back to the house this morning with my. Then
Without your coffee.
I had coffee before that too.
Ooh, the nice coffee up there. Yeah.
Actually, so
Would you buy coffee on the way?
no. It was nice coffee, but it was a different type of nice coffee this week. It was one that we found at a little place. Oh shit!
Stop
Oh,
breaking
shit.
shit.
You're seeing like the quality at work here. Fuck it, I'm just gonna hold it.
It screws on.
I know, but it's like it screws on. You see, this is the best part. Is it?
I think you'd have to unplug it to screw it on.
Yeah, to fully screw it on. It's.
Stop breaking shit.
You know what? This is an experience. We are experiencing like this. I mean, we've had these things for a solid 4 years,
Yeah.
5 years,
For
maybe.
those of you listening at home, Kurt
Yeah.
just broke his microphone.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
ripped it off the metal post.
It was sagging, and
He's
I was
a
trying to
destructive
fix it.
human being. You
So
should criticize him for this.
So we've had these for a number of years.
Yes.
They're also the cheap ones.
Yes.
So the fact that they still work in any fashion is amazing.
Mine works decently.
Yeah, yours works decently, but yours gets a lot less use in this one.
I
too.
also keep mine. I position mine differently than yours.
Yeah, that's true.
You have like more of the over the top look.
Yes.
Mine comes from below.
Yes. Oh, and that's just due to the nature of, like, if mine came from below, it would be in the way of me being able to control
I think
things.
I don't know. I like mine down below.
That's true. But yeah, no, we found coffee at this little place that was
Ooh.
it was really good, and today got used for the first time. So it was
Nice.
good. Yeah. But anyway,
I'm working my way through the crate of little pods my parents
K
got me.
cups that your parents gave
Yeah.
you. Yeah, I'm using the disposable K cup, the reusable K cups.
See, I would be, but I have this weird like I can't just leave these ones to go to waste.
No, you should use the ones that have already been purchased.
Yeah.
Yes. But like also use the ones, and after that,
Then I'll switch back to the reusable.
the reusable ones. Yeah. Yeah. Just, it makes me feel a little bit better.
Yeah, and that's the thing is again, if I didn't have the crate of the
Yes. Yeah, that's true. I have discovered with the reusable ones, you do have to like pack it. Like otherwise,
like a pipe.
kind of, because otherwise it'll get like really watery.
So that's what I'm also curious if what different like a finer grind versus coarser grind. What's going to give you a different quality?
Yeah, it literally came with instructions for the reusable ones to not use a super fine grind.
Okay,
But not use a coarse grind either. It's like because apparently the coarse grind doesn't pack down enough, but the super fine grind will go through the.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I use a really coarse grind for my cold brew,
Yeah.
which I learned something at QFC last night on that.
What's that?
Apparently, you're only supposed to use their grinder on like their bulk store brand. You're not supposed to take like the other brands of like bean.
Yeah.
Open them up, pour them through that thing, and grind it.
Even though everyone does.
I got one of the there's only like 4 people in the store, like
Yeah.
6 employees.
One of the employees yelled at you.
Yeah, like you're not supposed to do that. They only use the store ones in the. Oh my god, I don't know.
People do that all the time, though.
Yeah.
I've seen people do it multiple times.
Because again, you buy the Grand, and if you're doing anything special with it, it's too thin.
Yeah. It's yeah. But anyway, we digress. I'm Curtis. That's Boet. This is clinically inane.
That thing. We did that for so many years, not needing to do that.
I know.
We had a pre-recorded thing that did it for us.
I know. We do. We just do it now. I just have to remember to actually do it.
Should we just record us doing it and just play it each week?
That honestly would be more work for me to program it in.
We get you a little one of those like
one of the touchpads.
Yeah, of sound effects.
Yeah,
I can play it the rest of the show, and we can use it for that.
You know, Elgato makes a really great macro programmable touchpad.
Yeah,
that you can literally do like Twitch streamers.
I was thinking like just the simple ones that plug into a soundboard.
No. This is
like the
one
drum pad or the
This is one.
pads.
This is one that plugs into your computer that you press a button on it.
And it makes a sound effect.
Yeah, and the buttons are actually individual touch screens, so your macro can have a programmed icon for it.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so you touch it. So I've seen a lot of streamers because I always wondered like for a long time.
Actually, I did because Elgato had a booth at PAX.
Yeah,
and that was one thing they played with.
Yeah. I've always wondered for the longest time how before I knew that existed.
Yeah,
I wondered how the streamers would be like. They would just all of a sudden have like this graphic that played across the screen, and I was like, "What the fuck? How did that?" They have these little like hotkey things.
Yeah,
but they're expensive.
Yeah,
and I don't want to pay for one right now.
See, what's disappointing me is like, so I like the keyboard I have.
Yes,
it doesn't have any media controls on it though.
Like volume control,
the volume, play, pause, next track.
Mine does, but yeah.
And you can't anywhere. I can't find like a little programmable keyboard or a keyboard that I can like that has those on it.
Programmable?
Yeah.
There are some. They're just really expensive.
No, like I'm talking like a 6 or 8 key total one.
6 or 8 key total keyboard?
Like add-on keyboard.
Oh, for programmable for that?
Yeah.
That's literally what these Elgato things are.
I guess
for.
so.
That's what they are. It's just that what you want to use it for,
it's not worth the money.
No.
I'm looking for cheap results.
Mm-hmm. And well, what
like
you want to use it for is not its intended design, but it is usable for things like that.
What I want to use it for is not my intended design. Intended thing could be a description of my life.
Yeah, that's true. That is an accurate statement. But
quite often I understand what it's supposed to be used for. That doesn't mean that's what I want to use it for.
That's true. Man, today is a busy day for us. Well,
my evening sounds relaxing.
What's that?
My evening sounds relaxing.
Yeah, your day sounds easy.
Oh, evening anyway.
Yeah. My evening sounds like a lot of work. It's like I just realized that like there's a reason. So we're running our D&D. We're playing D&D this afternoon.
I'm walking my D&D.
Yeah. Boet is playing. I am running. And
see, the rest of us get a stroll. You have to run.
Yeah. What's funny is that I talked with Ashley about it, and she's just like, yeah, we just need to remember what we're doing. I'm like, I've told you 3 times where you're at. Like,
I know where we're at.
Yeah. It's like you're entering the ruins to Thunder Tree.
Mm-hmm.
For those who are D&D people, we are currently playing through the starter kit. They are level 3 currently, and they're about to enter the ruins to Thunder Tree. We literally ended our last session walking up to them.
Yep.
Because I knew that, like,
you weren't going to survive that.
Well, I mean, and it was going to be another 4 hours.
Exactly. You weren't going to survive that.
Yeah, no, I would not.
It wasn't our characters going to die. It was that our DM was going to die.
Yeah. I don't think, like, yeah, it's. I don't think people realize how exhausting it is.
I do. I see you afterwards, though.
Yeah, that's true. You do see me afterwards.
Long enough for you to go take a nap.
Yeah, like afterward, like depending on when we finish, it's tonight we're playing evening games, so tonight I'll just go to bed.
That's the thing is I know what's going to happen after D&D tonight.
Is everyone's going to leave and I'm going to immediately fall asleep.
Strong's going to go home. Bridget's going to go home. Tom's going to go home. Ashley's going to go get nachos. You're going to go to bed.
Yeah.
Which you're invited nachos, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. I
would be polite and invite you.
I appreciate
know the answer.
The answer's probably no, because I'll probably be exhausted.
Yeah. I mean, Tom may or may not come to nachos.
Yeah. No, it's especially the way that I DM too, because I actually do voices and characterizations, and some people don't.
You don't have to explain to the players quite what all they're doing all the time.
No, I don't. But I do. I have told Trong that I'm gonna our barbarian that I'm gonna start letting him forget to do damage if he doesn't remember all of the things he has to figure out.
Or remember to rage.
Yeah, or remember to rage. Well, it's just hilarious because it's like it's not at all like Travis or Ashley or any of the Critical Role people when they play barbarians, or even the Taz, the Adventure Zone guys when they play barbarians.
Trong's first game too, though.
Yeah. It's just funny though because they're all just like, I would like to rage, but that is something. It's kind of become a thing. Like I literally have a mug that says it. I have the leather thing that says I would like to rage. But Trong is, I love his character so much because he's just a big softy.
But he's made the choice to be it's an exasperated. I'll rage. It's very Bruce Banner.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go angry.
Yeah, I guess I'll get angry now.
Yeah.
It's just funny because he's still learning all of the extra. People think barbarians are easy.
No, they're a lot of math.
They're a lot of math. See, okay, so every class has its own complications. Yeah. For example, wizards and things like wizards or bards or spellcasters in general, especially wizards or druids or clerics, because they can switch out their spells.
Yeah.
You can switch out your spells too.
Yeah.
So like for artificers,
I have a shit ton I can switch out with.
Yeah. And
a lot of that's almost more prep.
Yes. I have put limitations on the spells that our wizard knows though.
Yeah, you kind of were resigning him to one class.
Unless I'm not letting him just learn prep every spell. He's a evocation wizard. He knows all the evocation spells. The other ones he has to find spell scrolls for.
Well, I mean, when you think about it from also from a new player, kind of relegating to mostly to one track, probably makes sense too.
Yeah. I do need to tell him that when you guys find spell scrolls, that he can spend X amount of gold and paper and ink in order to learn those spells permanently.
Depending on the spell.
If it's a wizard spell.
I have a druidic spell scroll.
No, you have a cleric spell scroll.
And there's no clerics in our group.
No. Which you can, as a spellcaster, attempt to cast it.
It just may not work.
You have to make an intelligence roll.
Yeah.
But
it's also it's one of my least favorite spells.
It's a good spell.
It is. It's just, I don't know.
Being able to ask gods
true
questions, it comes in real handy. It's not a battle spell. It is a but it is a very useful spell.
The question is, what question do you ask?
Well, you get 3 if I remember correctly.
I think the spell on the scroll you only get 1.
No, this one's the one you only get 1, and it's good or bad vibes.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's just vibes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a low level spell.
Yeah.
So
I feel overall it's gonna be worth when we get to a larger scale. It'll be worth me more to sell it than to try to cast.
Possibly, yeah. But you as a spellcaster, as an artificer who has spells that you can swap out, spell management,
yeah,
and spell slot management really becomes a thing.
Well, like that, I also have my
your doggy.
Well, not just my doggy, but I'm trying to think of the right word for my enhanced gear.
Oh, it's what it is. It's enhancements.
Well, I have both the spells and the gear.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And I can't remember the word right now.
Yeah. But yeah, you have those that you have to juggle.
Which there's a part of me that wants to go. I could go full emo-y character with those two.
Yeah.
There's one. There's the various ones I can build includes a helmet that makes your eyes glow red. One that makes your armor just kind of smoke, and one that makes your cape billow at will.
Was the one that makes your armor smoke just
smoldering armor.
Oh, smoldering armor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All it does is make your armor kind of smoke.
Yeah, it's just
Cosmetic.
cosmetic. Yeah, it doesn't do anything.
Same with the red eye helmet.
Yeah.
I just love the idea.
Yeah.
Of just making his character who's.
Yeah. I am like I'm not the other. Okay, so we'll talk about that in a second. But what I was gonna say is like all different classes have different things. Spellcasters have spell management and spell slot management and support idea things that they need to figure out. Then you have then you have those ones. You have then you have spellcasters who have learned spells but not prepared spells. So spells, and then they have like bards they know certain ones, and when they level up at certain times they get more spells, but they cannot re-prepare them every night. They just know the ones that they know. Same with warlocks, but warlocks have the downside of they have 2 spell slots for the longest fucking time, basically in like level until like level 10, and then they get like like a couple more, 1 or 2 more. But
I mean, they've got some nice cantrips. Though.
They have one of the strongest cantrips in the game. The Eldritch Blast is one of the strongest cantrips in the game. And depending on what you do, there are some other spells that you can use to enhance certain things. A Hexblade Warlock in the right hands is nigh unstoppable. Yeah. But and they recover their spell slots every short rest as opposed to every long rest. But they only get 2. But those 2 also cast at max level. Yeah. For what is possible for you to cast at. So like if it's possible for you to cast at level 5, you cast a level 1 spell that if it scales automatically to the level 5 version of
your fireball.
There's fireball, or thinking about stuff like oh god, what'd be a level 1 spell that scales really nicely? I'm spacing right now, but there are a couple level 1 spells that scale really nicely. But you get those 2 spell slots a day, which is why warlocks having strong cantrips and having, especially if I'm using the Hexblade as an example. Yeah, like the Hexblade Warlock, you get you get a physical magic weapon. You are a warlock who is in the shit fighting. Yeah, you have a blade that does magic damage. Which there's one cantrip that you can use that will increase the damage that your blade will do. So it increases it by like, I think until like level 5, it's
like a +1.
It's like 1d6 fire damage. Right. And then
I think there's a couple cantrips that do different types of. Or I think there's one cantrip where you can pick what type of. There's a couple different damages you can like.
No.
I could have sworn there was like a D.
No. It's not. That's not the way it works. Cantrips do one type of damage.
Maybe there's a couple cantrips that do different, that add different damage.
No,
because of course one is a way to like add ice damage to it, or
there are different types of cantrips that do different types of damage. That is correct. That is the way that spells work. Yeah, some do ice damage, some do fire, but they scale as you become more powerful. Because a level 7 cantrip, when you're level 7 and casting a cantrip, casting it at like 1d6 damage, no one cares anymore. Yeah. So they scale up. So like some like Eldritch Blast is I think like 1d10 damage at first level, and it's two blasts. And then at 5th level it's like 3d10. Yeah. You know, or 2d10 or 3d, and they scale as you get higher and higher level in that class. Yeah. So it's not that you choose the type of damage that it does. It's that it scales to more damage as you get stronger.
It's there's like agonizing blast, and there's those warlock add-ons also. It's one of those.
Yeah. So it's the class trait. Yeah. It's not a
straight cantrip.
It's not a straight cantrip. It's a class trait. Yeah. Yes, there are those, and so that's why I was saying using the Hexblade Warlock as an example. If you place Hex on a creature, and then you hit it with any sort of attack, it is an additional at least low level, it's like 1d6, and then but it scales up as you get.
There's also one of those that adds more damage to your Eldritch Blast, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
there's a couple of them
that's
that
what Hex does. It adds more damage. Period.
yeah.
You hit it, spell, physical.
Well, there's a couple that add additional things to your Eldritch Blast without having to cast them.
That's
additionally.
true. That's true. They're enhancements. Yes,
Yeah.
Yes. What Eldritch Spear?
Eldritch Spear, Agonizing Blast. There's a third one. There's a different thing. Like one that adds more damage. One adds like it shoves characters back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's one that like doubles the range.
Yes. Yeah. I think that's Eldritch Spear.
I think so.
Yeah.
And the Agonizing Blast I think increases the damage.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another one that just shoves them.
Yeah. But you're right. There are those, but they're class traits.
Yeah.
They're not cantrips or spell additions. They're just like if you take a certain class, subclass trait, that is, and you choose that's just the way it is now.
Yep.
But so like warlocks, their spell management, they still have to do it. It's different. Fighters have fighters basically are. I think fighters are probably the easiest class to play.
I could. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think there's a reason they're kind of encouraged. Like a lot of D&D based video games, like that's your encouraged first class.
Your encouraged first class is a human fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can get into the weeds when you start getting into very specific subclass
Yeah.
stuff with them. But for the most part,
Because they also have a shit ton of subclasses.
that's the
with all
thing too.
expansions.
Yeah, your basic human fighter is you run up and hit it with the sword, and it does the damage. And as you get stronger, when you hit it with the sword, it does more damage.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
But you're also going to collect this champion where you add more effects to your team. And
Yeah. No, that's when you get into specific.
Yeah.
Like if you choose a gunslinger subclass on.
That assumes you have a world with guns. Otherwise, it could be a complicated subclass.
Yes. But you choose the gunslinger subclass. But the thing is that you can't choose that subclass until level 3. So you have to plan that you're actually doing it if you're starting at level 1. So if you start at level 1 playing a gunslinger, and you want to play a gunslinger,
Get a rough couple first levels.
no, you just have to be a fighter who's taking an archery trait,
Yeah.
because it's enhancements to ranged weapon attacks.
Yep.
That kind of thing. Yeah, there's a little bit of thinking to it, but it's for the most part the easiest class to play.
Yeah.
Rangers are spellcaster tanks in a weird way.
I mean, clerics a lot of that too.
Yeah, they're depending on the type of ranger that you are too. Paladin is a spellcaster tank. Yeah. Rangers are spellcaster fighters.
Yeah.
That's what they are. They're not tanks. They can tank. They don't have to. I regularly find myself doing that for my group just because.
I mean, druids are another one that are flexible where they can be a ranged attack. They can be a tank. They can.
Yeah, especially if you're Circle of the Moon and a druid too, where you get the high level wild shape really easily.
There's other circles where you're more of a support character.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But the Rangers, you get some spell casting, but for the most part, you're a fighter who has some spell casting. I mean, that's kind of what it is.
Yep.
And you have some nature-based abilities.
I mean, a rogue, you're kind of a sneaky with some spell casting.
Yeah. No, not necessarily.
Oh, true.
No, you have if you play an arcane trickster rogue, you are.
Yeah.
Or if you have, in the case of Ashley in our group, she has some spells, but that's because of her race, not because of her class.
I mean, you still gain advantages with like using rods and wands and.
As rogues?
Rogue, do you not?
No, you don't.
Okay.
Not any more than anybody else.
Okay.
Rogues, you get sneak attack.
Yeah.
And do a fuck ton of damage with that. Rogues have the ability to their disengage, the bonus action to disengage, dash, or hide. I believe it's called cunning action. That is what saves them. It means they can run in, stab, run away.
That's what Ashley does a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite rogue class is even really a sneaky one. Swashbuckler.
the pirate one. Yeah.
Well, because it's also just, even beyond the pirates, it's the charismatic swordsman.
It's the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Errol Flynn.
Yeah.
It's or Robin Hood even.
Yeah.
Well, sword-based Robin
Zorro.
Hood. Yeah.
But it gives you the bonus of sneak attack, and that's really where rogues come into their own. Everything else is an enhancement of them to be able to do that in certain ways, but rogues doing sneak attack is really where they come into their own, because once you Ashley's level 3 and it's 2d6 of extra damage.
Yeah.
She hits a god. I just make her roll all the damage, partially so she gets used to doing it.
Yeah.
The other reason is to see just how much damage it's doing. She'll kill something that's got 12 hit points and
doing 30 damage.
She'll do she'll crit on it and do 32 damage or something ridiculous. I think the highest she got so far was 23
I
damage.
thought there was a 32 in there.
No, I did that much damage.
Okay.
No, what was it? As a ranger using my oath bow with a crit, I did 64 points of damage.
Oh, I think Trong has our high damage in a single action currently.
What was it? It was No, it's you.
Was it me?
Yep, it's you. You did 36 points of damage.
All right.
Because you critted on 2 firebolts.
Right.
Was it a firebolt?
No.
You critted on a firebolt. You did.
And
you somehow did 18, and between all your modifiers, you did 18 points of damage, and then got doubled. You did 36 points of damage with a firebolt.
Yeah.
That was before your class got nerfed.
Yeah.
And it was obscene.
I mean, our barbarian's got some serious damage because he also has his repeating axe.
Yeah, see, that's a single action, not a single attack.
Yeah.
And so he has a magical weapon called it's a little homebrew thing called Axe of the Repeater, and it basically every time he makes an attack, he can make his second attack at disadvantage.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes that works well.
Yeah, which not an action, mind you, an attack, which is why it's at disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because basically it bounces up and goes again, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so but his big thing, the big thing with barbarians, is that you have to remember all of your modifiers. So for him, it's if he's raging, assuming he's raging, it is his attack, his hit. So his 1d12 plus his strength modifier, which is 4. Mm-hmm. Plus an additional D6 based on the fact that he's for his first hit because he's Path of the Zealot.
Yeah.
So if he's raging, he gets an additional D6 of, I believe, radiant damage.
Yeah.
And then because he's raging currently, it's an additional +2 on top of that. So it's 1d12 plus 4 plus 1d6 plus 2.
Yeah, sounds about right.
And that's
a lot of math.
It's not a lot of math. It's a lot of dice.
Yeah, that's it.
So wizards, spellcasters such as yourself, when you do spell effects, it's not, you don't have to remember all the modifiers that go onto it.
Yeah.
It's okay, I hit, here's 4d6 of damage. Or 4d8 of damage or whatever. Fireball, it's here's 8d6 of damage. Blah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of math.
I mean, mine specifically has some weird modifiers that go along with it, but it's a weird class.
Yours has modifiers if you hit with physical attacks.
That's it, yeah.
If you hit with a spell attack, they do not. It is still a spell attack.
Yeah. I guess I have modifiers on some of my perception rolls and arcane rolls.
And, you have skill check modifiers, which is accurate. Everyone does.
Well, then I have weird bonuses to them.
That's right, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have additional bonuses based on your class. It'll just be interesting to see where you guys go today. Mm-hmm. There's a possibility it could be very calm and
a nice quiet afternoon.
Stroll through ruins of a town. Yeah. It's unlikely, knowing you guys. There's also the possibility that you'll all die.
Hey! I mean, isn't that always a possibility? Have you met our group?
Yeah. It's an extreme possibility coming up. You don't know what you're facing yet either.
No, our squishy wizard likes to fly some days, and that
Yeah.
can be problematic.
The thing that it might kill all you guys, that might be beneficial.
That he likes to fly?
Yeah. That might be a beneficial thing. He's getting good at hiding.
Yeah.
And like staying out of the way. That kind of thing.
Yeah, but it just occurred to me, like, if we're facing all like ground-based, physical attacks, couldn't he just fly top buildings instead of range?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just don't think he's thought of that yet.
No, he has.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Yeah, you guys just have been in enclosed areas.
Okay, and I guess Krampus was throwing shit, so it wouldn't have mattered quite as much.
Yeah, well, and Krampus wasn't attacking him.
Yeah, true.
It was attacking you
Yep.
and Trong, our barbarian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you guys were up in his face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially my doggy.
Yeah. Which, did you get a mini for that?
We'll find out tonight.
I need to know.
It's one of my errands today is to go check one more place.
Okay.
I have a backup plan that involves a hardware store.
I mean, I told you if you don't find a mini, we're using Doty.
Yeah.
Just like I'm going to have Trinket at the ready for if Bridget turns into a bear again.
Yeah. I actually know a place that has something very close to a mini.
Yeah.
Archie McPhee's.
Yeah.
They have those little rubber figurine things. I might just go buy a wolf one and use it for now at least.
Or if I can just go get something, go check your places. But I'd rather you have an actual mini for it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing is everywhere I've checked doesn't have anything. Like, I've been picturing kind of a wolf-like creature.
Yeah, you don't have any. You're not going to get anything specific. You're going to have to kit bash it.
I mean, I found online one's very close to what I've been thinking. Even just going with dire wolves.
Yeah.
I haven't just been able to find those in stores even.
No, some of them you have to order.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. But we'll figure it out.
Yep.
But if you don't have anything, you're using Doty.
Until I get something anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can attack them with his book.
I mean, that's what my early version of my artificer did.
Who's attack them with his book?
The archivist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you still have a book on your mini.
Yeah. Which
makes sense.
Especially with who my character's god is.
Yeah. Yeah. But
like one of the traits of following that god is carrying a journal with his symbol on it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But we digress. We have movies that we need to talk about.
We do.
We talked about D&D for half an hour. We can talk about minis. We can talk about the movies now.
Some movies with two strangely iconic actors.
Strange. What?
They're both like, I guess.
I wouldn't say anybody in the second movie is strangely iconic.
Yeah.
I would say they're iconic,
True.
but not strangely.
Yeah.
Nick Cage is strange.
Well, yeah.
He is strangely. He is not. It is not strange that he's iconic. He is strange.
True.
No. First things first, because you saw it after we recorded last week. You saw Parasite.
I did.
It
just won the best picture at
was it SAG?
SAG.
Yeah,
and it absolutely deserved it.
Yeah. Was it? If you had to, having seen it after the new year, even though it did come out in 2019,
yeah,
would you change your top movies of the year?
I probably would have added it on. Yeah.
Yeah. You would.
Don't ask me who I would have bumped, but I would have probably added it.
It would have made it in there. Would it have made it to like the top?
I don't know. I mean, I hate trying to determine the top.
Yes, I know.
Just because.
Would it have been in the top?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like of your favorite movies
part,
of the years, it would have been in the upper echelon.
Yeah.
Because that's what everyone said. That's what Brett told me, that it was his favorite movie of the year.
It's infinitely better than Joker.
Like
it's rare to get a movie where you get twists that, like, I've been to so many movies, it's rare to get movies where there's twists that I don't see coming.
Yeah.
And like shit like that. And
yeah, like we watched trailers last night and I was like, I know when characters are going to die based
like
on
Invisible
these
Man?
trailers. Yeah.
like if you're paying attention, know.
Also Black Widow. I know when characters are going to die in Black Widow.
Yeah. But like Invisible Man, if you know previous movies,
Or if you know the
overall, the general story and the overall tropes that have come in other movies, you know the end of that movie.
Yeah.
You see it in the trailers.
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
Yeah.
Morbius. The trailer for Morbius.
Yeah.
They show you the end of the movie.
Yeah.
I can see it. I saw it.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the trailer. Like, I really wish they would stop doing stuff
Which
like
I didn't
that.
realize we had two technically Marvel like previews last night,
Morbius and Black Widow.
and they're both movies where I'm more interested in support
In
characters.
support characters, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm far more interested in Florence Pugh and David Harbour's characters in Black Widow.
Yeah.
And I am far more interested.
I want to see what Matt Smith's character is.
I want to know who Matt Smith is in Morbius. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to IMDb it and find out.
No. I want to see it to find out who Matt Smith
Yeah.
is playing. Yeah. Because when Matt Smith plays weird roles, he really goes for it. And so I hope it's a weird role.
And that looks far better than 30 Seconds to Vampire.
Yeah. I really like, they kind of like give you a little bit of a look at the Morbius look. But here's the thing is that Michael Morbius is supposed to always look like that.
Yeah.
And that's part of the character is that he always kind of looks hideous.
And maybe he will towards the end.
Maybe he will at the end, but Jared Leto's just too pretty.
I mean, I honestly think Jared Leto as end version Morbius could be better than Jared Leto as early version Morbius.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see how it goes.
Yep.
But I don't have high hopes for it. But it
From the studios that brought you Spider-Man Homecoming. Awesome. Spider-Man Far From Home.
Great.
Venom.
okay.
A lot of coffee to sip right now.
Yeah. Hold on.
Thank you.
That was for you.
Venom was... I enjoyed Venom.
Venom.
No, I enjoyed Venom and Venom.
Venom.
Everything around Venom, I did not.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just being Eminem.
Yeah.
Venom. For the record, if you're singing, it is. I learned this from living with two fucking musical theater and singing people. The in a word is not the part that you're supposed to sing. They actually hated the Sweeney Todd with Johnny Depp because he would hold out his harmonies on the which is correct, which is wrong.
There's a song from like 2010. What's the name of it? But the character, like, they're saying something. I can't remember. Damn, I'm blanking on all right now, but they always end up with a on the end of their word because it's like it's a word that kind of mellows out, but they at the end and it bugs the hell out of me. I'm trying to remember
Yeah.
But yeah.
But anyway, we saw The Color Out of Space
Yes.
on Wednesday.
Speaking of Holy Night Rams, they did not.
Speaking of what?
Holy Night Rams, they did not.
No. Fuck, dude.
Like, you can't talk too much about it without getting into spoilers. And
I mean, here's the thing. So we have history on this one.
Yes.
We know history because Brett made it. And
this is his third movie with that production company.
no, it is
Or it's the
much more than his third movie with that
it's the
production
third one
company.
I've seen from him.
There you go.
Yeah. Because this is Cooties,
Cooties, Mandy,
Color Out of Space.
Color Out of Space. He also, I believe, Ray's was also Spectrevision, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
I know it was Waller, who apparently has left Spectrevision.
Really?
Yeah, Josh Waller has left Spectre. He, from what I've heard, from what I've been told, while he enjoys producing, he wants to get back into directing.
Okay.
And he's been kind of taking the backseat producer role as opposed to the director role, and he wants to move back towards that.
Makes sense.
And at Spectrevision, there just wasn't the
Facility.
space for it. Yeah. Which is okay. It's not a parting on like, it's not a fuck you. It's like, this is just where my career is taking me.
Yeah.
Where
this is
I
wanna
need to go.
and
Yeah. Which, you know what?
I can't do it here.
Yeah, which is great. And also Waller loves Brett, and he's gonna.
Yeah.
The thing, Brett technically works for Spectrevision, but at the same time he doesn't, just because of the way unions work and editors work and all that stuff.
He's not 100% locked into them.
He is not a full-time employee. He is a contract employee.
So he's not exclusive.
Correct. Which editors can't be.
Yeah.
And well, editors can be, but not movie editors. Movie editors are not.
Okay.
If you work at a commercial house, you're an editor.
I mean, I can almost imagine if you have TV, you can be locked in exclusive for the run of that show or something. Or I guess you're not even think because you don't do the same editor episode necessarily.
No, you don't. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It's commercials.
Yeah.
Commercial houses, you will always have work, and so they just hire people as full-time employees.
That makes sense.
This is based on what Brett's told me.
Yeah. I guess actors get locked into things, but
Well, and actors get locked into contracts, but they have other things that they're
I was
also
also thinking, like, you don't really change out actors episode to episode on most shows.
no.
Unless you're really going to make a gag of it.
Yeah. But they...
Actually, that could be really entertaining, like a comedy about a rock band.
I know that...
Just change out the drummer every episode and don't mention it.
I think there was a joke in... Well, they did that in the movie for Spinal Tap.
Yeah.
I think there was a joke with the original Police Squad where they
Just kept changing someone.
kept changing someone. I know they had like a special guest, and the special guest would die in the opening scene every week.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Like, special guest, William Shatner, and then he dies kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Police Squad has got what got turned into...
Reno?
what's that?
Reno 911? Or?
No. Got turned into...
NYPD Blue.
No, the fucking Leslie Nielsen...
Oh, Naked Gun.
Naked Gun, thank you. Police Squad is what got turned into Naked Gun.
Okay.
But they it didn't last very long on TV. But anyway, from what Brett has told me about The Color Out of Space,
Yes.
it's written and directed by Richard Stanley,
Yeah.
who famously was fired from the island of Dr. Moreau after 3 days.
4? Oh, I always heard it was got an actual physical fight with Marlon Brando.
It would not surprise me.
That's the
Brando was fucking impossible to work with at that time.
If you listen to QA, there's a joke about Brando tried to kill him even.
Yeah.
Or even Brando couldn't kill him.
Yeah.
Like he got in a fight with. I'm pretty sure he got in a fight with Marlon Brando on that set. And
Well, yeah, Marlon Brando showed up to the set and he didn't famously at that point in his life, like he didn't ever pay attention to what his lines were going to be. He was doing all the drugs. He did the same thing on Apocalypse Now. Like he showed up and he didn't know anything. He didn't know what was going on. His like super famous speech is mostly he mostly winged it.
yeah.
And he was just on all the drugs. And apparently it was impossible to work with. Val Kilmer was also doing all the drugs at the same time.
Yeah.
Like I feel bad for David Thewlis and Fairuza Balk trying to
Rein in, maintain,
like
herd,
trying to be actors in that right on their own. Because David Thewlis is a hell of an actor too.
Yeah.
Modern generation, our generation would probably know him best as Remus Lupin in the Harry Potter movies. And Fairuza Balk, our generation would probably know her best as Vicky Valancourt from The Waterboy.
Okay.
But yeah, the Island of Dr. Moreau is based on a book as well.
Yeah.
And I actually used to love that movie when I was a kid. It just fascinated me.
There's a documentary about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I need to watch the documentary.
that might fascinate you more than a movie now.
Yeah. But and I know it's not a good movie, but I loved it when I was younger.
That's fair.
But I haven't watched it in 15
Do
years.
you want to watch it again, see what happens?
I kind of do. But apparently Richard Stanley was fired off that. It took way longer than it was supposed to shoot. It was supposed to take like 4 months to shoot. 6 months later, he snuck back on set as an extra.
And is in the movie.
Yeah, and is in the movie. And then he kind of disappeared.
If you look at his IMDb, he's got some weird documentaries. He's got
but he didn't
mostly documentaries since then, and some like a lot of them are found footage, like collected footage documentaries.
Yeah, he didn't go back to Hollywood.
Yeah,
he didn't want to. He was so
he went to France.
Fucked over by it. Yeah, he went up and he lived in the mountains in Europe, and he, from what Brett told me, he never believed that they were going to make this movie.
Yeah, because
he has such severe PTSD from making Island of Dr. Moreau
or not making.
He would they were like, cool, we love the script, we want to make it. It's like, great, I totally believe you. We'll see when it actually happens.
Yeah.
Cool, we have funding. All right, cool.
He's also a writer on it.
Yeah. We'll see when it actually happens, kind of thing. Right. Nicolas Cage wants to do it. And he's signing up for it. We got Jolie Richardson too. And he's like, okay, great, fine, cool.
We've cast the horse.
We've cast everyone. Yeah, we have a full cast. Let's do it. We have locations. Everyone's at the location. Like, we're ready to go. Like, we're ready to go start making this movie. Waller had to drive to his house 4 hours away from the set
In a different country.
pick him up and drive him to set before he believed that they were actually making the movie.
Because he was living in France and they were filming in England.
Did they film in England? I don't think they filmed in England.
Well...
No, they filmed in Spain.
Was it Spain?
I
Yeah,
think.
it was a Spanish flag.
Yeah.
I remember if it was a Scottish flag or a Spanish flag down there. It was Spanish flag.
They filmed in Spain, yeah.
Still a different country.
I think. I want to say Spain. Brett will tell me if I'm wrong. But they had to go up and get him out of his little house in the mountains.
Yeah.
And now after making this, he wants to make more movies, but he wants to stay independent, which I understand.
Yeah, he wants to make a trilogy of this.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's so Lovecraftian.
Yeah.
It is so Lovecraftian. It is a Lovecraft story. And I say that as somebody who's read a number. I will say it is not racist. Like,
it is very much a Lovecraft story.
yes.
It's not Lovecraft.
Yes. It is not super.
There's a fundamental difference between those two.
Yeah, it is important to remember that, yes, I know H.P. Lovecraft was married to a black woman.
Google the name of his cat someday.
Wait,
was he?
Yeah, he was married to a black woman.
His only marriage only lasted like 2 years.
Yeah, he was married to a black woman. And he, that's why people have been like, he couldn't be racist. He was married to a black woman.
Yeah.
That's not how that
What's
works.
his
Milo.
Yeah, look up his marriage and some of the stuff written about his husband.
Yeah, the fetishization of black bodies by white supremacists is not not an unheard of thing.
Yep.
It's the forbidden thing, kind of,
Yep.
But anyway, H.P. Lovecraft was horrifically racist, just terrible. However, he wrote a lot of amazing horror.
He did.
And it's being able to know that, like, and also some of it you read it and you're like, wow, that monster is supposed to be a black person.
Yeah.
You
like
know.
acknowledging it and understanding it, but at the same time, he did write some really incredible horror.
Yeah. And set a standard for sci-fi horror moving forward.
Yeah.
That we're learning and growing on
Yep.
all the time. But anyway, we recognize that. This movie is not racist, thankfully. But no, it does. It follows the Lovecraft formula.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be okay for the most part. You know, there's some family stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scientist who's in the area
Yep.
studying something
Yep.
unrelated to what's about to happen. Something happens.
Yeah.
Then we start to wonder if everyone's losing their mind or if there's something greater at effect. And this is kind of the Lovecraft story formula.
Yeah.
And normally in the books, it's told from the perspective of, it's usually the way his short stories are written.
Mm-hmm.
They tend to be almost like journal entry style kind of thing.
Usually from the perspective of the outsider.
The perspective of the scientist or the outsider who's experiencing it.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of paranoia. There's a lot of, some of it's like written after the fact kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like paranoia, there's weird things happening, unexplainable things happening, psychosis.
In the original story on this one, the surveyor comes to town.
Yeah.
And like he's being told to survey this area. Although it's a bad area.
Yeah.
He starts to encounter the family that lives there.
Yeah.
Finds out earlier there had been a crash. I mean, something fell from the sky.
Yeah.
And then as you get more in the family, like things, as he's there, the family falls apart even further from where they were at. Weird.
Yeah.
And then the end of it is him coming back after they had died.
Yeah.
Or like after they'd finished.
Yeah.
And like finding some pretty fucked up shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
then fleeing.
Yeah.
Just barely by their life. And
yeah, that's the way that the story's written.
yeah.
And this is
A lot of that.
And it does follow the Lovecraft formula too of scientist comes to town, starts encountering something, some weird shit starts happening. Is it paranoia? Is it science? Is it science fiction? You know, is it are they losing their minds? Is it something greater at work? Is it an elder god? Is it a, you know? And the answer to all of those things is yes.
And actually, I mean, there's other Lovecraftian tropes.
Yes.
There's the resigned sage,
Yes.
the character who realized something goes on and simply accepted it, but is also kind of this older, wiser character.
Yes.
The angry male,
Yep.
doting mother.
Yep.
Those are all common tropes of.
Yeah. Yeah. A number of things.
Like we've seen a lot of horror because they're coming out of Lovecraft and this Gothic era. Of horror.
Yeah, the Gothic era. Yeah, totally. But it's fucking trippy, and it goes from like 0 to fuck
pretty quickly,
which is also the way Lovecraft stories work.
Yeah, like you start to see weird things and then it just accelerates. Like
you start to see weird things and be like, okay, that's odd. That's weird. Okay, that's a little unsettling. That's a little fuck.
Well, and it also like part of like movie making is you start with the weirdness kind of creeps in the edges.
Yeah,
like you get quick things that are odd. Like you have small. Okay, that's weird. That's kind of fantasy. Okay, small creepy things start creeping in.
Yep,
and then they're front and center.
Yep.
Like the first creepy thing we see is a split second in front of a car.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
The first outwardly, definitively creepy thing that we see.
Like first, strong indication of being malevolent.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah, no, it's great. It's beautiful. It's tense. It's paranoid.
Yeah.
It's if you don't do well with body horror,
don't see it.
Don't see it. And I'm not talking like Saw or Hostel or the Human Centipede body horror. I'm thinking more like The Thing or the Verhoeven movies,
more what's
Total Recall.
The guy who made Thing, that
John Carpenter.
Was it Carpenter? What am I thinking of for The Fly?
Verhoeven.
Is that Verhoeven? That's another.
Who made the Jeff Goldblum one?
Yeah. We said like it's a type of body horror. We said that like the most recent Fantastic Four should have been. Why am I blanking on his name?
Cronenberg.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Cronenberg. Yeah. Yeah, Cronenbergian style.
There's one that definitely is Cronenbergian.
Yes, very much so. Yeah.
Well, technically there's two, but only one's in for more than a scene.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it follows that style in a very, very strong way. And it's not torture porn, it's body horror. That's the difference.
Yeah. And I mean part of it come back to going back to the production company, Spectrovision. Like it's amazing use of color though at the same time.
So yeah, the whole concept, talking with Brett about it. First of all, the original styling that they were going to go for when they were going into pre-production, Annihilation came out.
Which Annihilation, the author has talked about having influences from this story in his book.
Yeah. It's very similar.
Heavily influenced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Annihilation came out and they went, fuck. So they started talking about it from a legitimate scientific perspective, which is, you think about, they actually talked about the mantis shrimp, which if you want to learn about the mantis shrimp, the Oatmeal has a great comic about it. You can go learn about it there. The mantis shrimp sees in the ultraviolet spectrum.
Yeah.
Which means that they see colors that we can't
even comprehend.
We can't even comprehend how to perceive.
You can't describe them because we don't have a reference point.
Correct. The colors that we see in the ultraviolet spectrum are like pinks, purples, magenta, somewhere in that realm of things. And so they started talking about like, well, if we thought about it from like the color that's hard to describe because it's not a color we can describe, is something that's sitting in the ultraviolet wavelength.
Yep.
To us as humans, the way that they show it on the screen is we are interpreting it as pinks and purples, but it's hard to explain just the way you see it. It's a color that doesn't exist.
I talked to you briefly about maroon. Because maroon, when you look at our vision spectrum, normally maroon is a combination of purple and red.
Yes.
Which are at opposite ends of our vision spectrum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like maroon is a color, like how we perceive it isn't entirely known.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's also how we don't entirely know how we perceive Maroon 5.
Actually, we don't know. Yellow was actually a weird one first, also technically.
Yeah, it's just an odd one.
But
anyway,
yeah,
no, that's why it like you look at it, it's kind of like, well, when they talk about like, oh, you can't describe the color, it's like it's fucking pink. No, it's not. It's just that's what we can see it as, and it's another it's 2 movies in a row that Spectrovision knows how to get Nick Cage on screen and utilize him, and not a way that goes like fully. We've talked about this before. A lot of directors want Nick Cage to be at 10 all the time.
Yeah.
And he's an actor that can, apparently you can go up to him and be like, you were at a 10, I need you at a 5. And he goes, okay, and clicks it over, and he's there. Brett has talked about it. We've talked about it on this before. I think it's between the director of Mandy and now Richard Stanley here. They knew how to use Nick Cage
At a 5.
at a 5.
Yeah.
Or at a 2. Or at a 10. Or
You look at some of Nick Cage's famous movies, there is this spectrum of Nick Cage.
Well, like Raising Arizona is such a perfect example
National
of
treasure.
it. Leaving Las Vegas.
Con Air.
Eh,
He's at a variety of ranges in it.
it's true. But Leaving Las Vegas
Yeah.
is a perfect example.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that's the one he won the Oscar for. Was
I think
Leaving
so.
Las Vegas, where it's a man who hires a prostitute to spend his last weekend with him as he prepares to kill himself. No, the Color Out of Space knows how to use him. Jolie Richardson is always great. I haven't seen her in a lot since Nip Tuck, but she's fantastic. The kids in it are great.
Yeah.
Like it was funny to see Waller play the sheriff. The guy who plays the scientist is
Well, you
great.
recognize the kid, the little kid.
The little kid, yeah, he was in The Haunting of Hill House.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. And I recognize him because of his big fucking Coke bottle glasses.
Which make a certain style to him.
Yeah. Julian Hilliard, I think is his
so.
name. And Tommy Chong.
Was fantastic in it.
He was so good in it. Tommy Chong was so good
Yeah.
in it. Like, holy shit, the last scene with him.
There's where he's
Yeah.
There's one like the last time we see his character at all. Like all of a sudden everything you've been hearing on this weird stuff earlier clicks,
Yeah.
and I recognize it all immediately. Then
Yep. You're just like, fuck.
like, oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's really good. It's hard to talk about it more without
Yeah.
ruining it. Thankfully, they played a little bit of the Q&A with it too. I was able to get a little clip of the part where Nick, unsolicited, shouted out Brett,
Yeah.
which was really cool.
That is.
He didn't have to do that.
This is his second movie with Brett?
Second movie with
Yeah.
Brett, and he's making a third one.
Yeah.
So
National Treasure 3?
Pig
Oh, right.
Pig is the next one. We're getting close to running out of time, so we got
We got to
to
cover our other.
The Gentleman.
It's nice to see Matthew McConaughey in a good role again.
I know, right? Oh my god.
So I actually looked up his IMDb.
Yeah.
Last few movies.
Dallas Buyers Club wasn't that long ago.
Oh, it was. Damn it, jumped ahead of the page. Recent movies from Between the Two Ferns, the movie.
Okay.
Was apparently not that good according to Taylor Serenity. That was the beach one with him.
Yeah.
Beach Bum I never even saw any details of. White Boy Rick.
Never heard of it.
Yeah. The Dark Tower.
Oh. Which, by the way, the Dark Tower TV show got canceled.
Yeah,
It's not getting made.
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know where it was. I don't know if it was going off the TV movie. Was it based off the movie or
It was based off the books.
That could have been. TV show could have been good.
Yeah.
Free State of Jones.
I heard was really good.
It's got really low ratings though.
Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people liked it.
Gold.
Never heard of it.
We saw trailers for it. No, it wasn't good looking. Kubo and the Two Strings.
Yeah, that's right. He was who, oh god.
He was Beetle.
Beetle. Yeah, he was great.
Lincoln Crafted wasn't that good. Sing, the animated.
Oh right.
animal singing.
Sing's okay.
Interstellar was 2014.
Okay.
Dallas Buyer Clubs and Wolf of Wall Street were both 2013.
Really? He's such a small part in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
too.
but again, that was 7 years ago now.
Jesus, it was. I say there was like they were calling that area like the McConaissance.
Yeah, now
Because like Mud was back then too.
Yeah.
And like Mud was what, 2011, 2012?
Mud Well, Magic Mike and Mud were both 2012.
Yeah, 2012.
Yeah.
No, it was fun to see
Lincoln
him.
Lawyer was 2011.
Yeah,
Ghost of Girlfriend's Past.
which is a shitty.
Fool's Gold wasn't great, but it was fun.
Is that another Dirk Pitt?
They definitely pulled the Dirk Pitt character from Safari that he played,
Sahara?
Sahara, but it is not official Dirk Pitt movie.
Okay. Because Dirk Pitt is Inca Gold. That's the book.
Yes.
Okay.
They definitely. Someone had like
It's very clear that that
It's
is
a
what it is based upon, but it is not what it
It
is.
is a spiritual ripoff,
Got it.
for lack of a better.
Yeah.
term.
Okay. Cool.
Like it is not a spiritual sequel.
I mean,
it's a
and
spiritual
we all, everyone has movies that are.
Yeah. But he's had a string recently of bad ones, so it's really nice to see him in The Gentleman and enjoy the hell out of it.
Oh God, he was so great in it too. Everyone was good in it.
Yes.
Everyone was so good in it. Like fucking Matthew McConaughey, Colin Farrell, Charlie Hunnam, Hugh Grant. I cannot remember the woman's name for some reason. I'm spacing on it. You pull it up.
I am. Michelle Dockery.
Michelle Doherty. Thank you. Like,
Colin Farrell. Henry Golding was Dry Eye.
yeah, Henry Golding was great.
Even Hugh Grant had.
Hugh Grant was so good in it.
Yeah.
Hugh Grant has had some really fun roles over the last couple of years.
Yep. Jeremy Strong.
Yeah. Bugsy Malone.
Which I say, yeah, he's a grime artist.
He's the grime artist. We were listening, we were like watching that. We were like, this has to be he has to be an actual rapper. It is. It's Bugsy Malone. But yeah, no, it's a great cast. Clearly Guy Ritchie having fun getting back to his like shitty London mobsters kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the thing that's really fun about the mobsters in this is that they all think they're high class. The reason they call it The Gentleman is because they're doing these horrible mobster shit, but they're all so polite about it.
It's that's something I do love about. That's a certain type of mobster movie that I do love. Is the kind of the code of ethics for the.
Yeah.
Because McConaughey's character, you see, he definitely has his code of ethics involved.
It's not code of ethics. It's code of conduct.
Code of conduct.
That's what it is.
But he also has certain types of he's only in a certain branch of those vices.
Yeah.
And he recognizes that.
He doesn't want anything to do with the other ones.
No, and
This is his branch.
his people working for him look down on those branches.
Yeah.
There's a scene with a bunch of druggies. And
Yeah. And they have their. I really liked to see. I enjoyed seeing Charlie Hunnam in a role where he's still a tough guy, but he's not. He's not Jax Teller.
He's a tough guy, but he's not necessarily in the down and dirty.
Yeah, he's not Jax Teller.
Yeah.
That's. I think that's the important part because King Arthur, he was Jax Teller, but King Arthur.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool to see him. It was good to see him in a role where he's wearing a tie and glasses for most of it.
Yeah.
And he has OCD. He doesn't like people touching him or touching his things or moving things around. He doesn't like going to see he doesn't like going to shake down the junkies because they're dirty.
Yeah. But also the fact that a lot of his roles are with this absolute kind of off the walls character.
Yeah.
Just makes those scenes even better.
Yeah. No, it's so great. And they just the politeness with which they conduct themselves while doing these terrible, terrible things is really great.
And just being a good gangster movie with the levels of intrigue.
Yeah. And I mean, it's not a super twisty, turny movie. It has some fun stuff to it.
Yeah, it's got some twists and turns. It has one you forgot about.
Yeah, it has one we forgot about it until the end of the movie.
Yeah,
and we're like, oh fuck, yeah, that's right. Colin Farrell is a relatively small role, but he's an important role, and he's really fun. It's a really fun movie. It's put together in a really fun way.
Well, and part what I like is looking at, if you looked at who your main characters are versus your screen time, that's not all going to match up either. And that's the interesting part.
The most screen time goes to Matthew McConaughey, Charlie Hunnam, and Hugh Grant.
I would almost argue Charlie Hunnam and Jeremy Strong are,
in Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey, too.
And comes in, but definitely coming in third on that, because those two...
Yeah, Charlie Hunnam and Hugh Grant have probably the most screen time in the movie. Yeah. It's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
Watching I loved watching Colin
Colin Farrell's character.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Who's
just
like-
he's just such a perfect he's playing that good old boy Irish guy too.
I was like,
It's
he's
so
just
great.
I don't want to be here, but I'm stuck doing this shit.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was a lot of fun. I kind of want to go see it again
Yeah.
to just kind of like I want to see it again to see what other things I missed.
I definitely want to see it again. I don't know if I necessarily need to see it in theaters again.
Yes.
But it's definitely one to watch again.
I have a similar feeling to this that I did to some of his early movies like Lock, Stock, or Snatch, where you kind of want to watch it again and be like, what was there that I didn't see?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Like there's a reveal at the end that I think if you go back and watch it carefully, you would pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was about this character being observed.
Yes.
And if you went back and watched it, you'd probably, knowing the filmmaker, you would probably see
what's going on.
like that next level of it there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really fun.
It is.
I will say for a Guy Ritchie movie, at least from what I noticed, a distinct lack of pan flute.
Yeah.
I didn't notice any. Maybe it's because I was really in on the story.
Yeah. I mean, being Guy Ritchie movie, there was a poster reference to my most watched movie of the last decade.
Man from U.N.C.L.E.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a Man from U.N.C.L.E. reference in there, which I enjoyed. I laughed pretty hard when I saw that.
I mean, you got to figure, because that scene is in a movie producer's like office.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have to have movie posters in the background,
Might as well make it your own.
and also what are gonna be the easiest rights to get to have?
Yeah, it's true. Well, the easiest rights to get to have would probably be Lock, Stock, but
Yeah, but again, your own movies are gonna be the.
yeah.
I mean, getting the rights to your movie that isn't quite such the iconic one might be easier than the iconic one.
It's true. Or if it's the same production company.
Yeah,
But yeah, it was really fun. It's
definitely a change of pace from Color Out of Space.
yeah, it's very different than Color Out of Space. It's also a change of pace from like it's a Guy Ritchie movie that didn't have any super slow-mo. There was none of the stuff that he used in Lock, Stock, or Snatch, or Sherlock Holmes, or like the super high frame rate slow-mo.
Mm-hmm.
Not really in this.
I mean, Man from U.N.C.L.E. didn't have a whole lot of that either, but
No, but it didn't fit the style of it. He could have done it with this,
true.
but he didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of one scene in particular with Machine Gun that could have.
Yeah.
The credits had it, like the opening credits.
The opening credits were a lot of graphical fun.
Yeah.
Like a lot of Guy Ritchie movies are. But I really enjoyed it a lot. We can't talk about it again too much without giving
I
it
saw
away.
3 new movies this week, and this was definitely the most fun.
It was the most fun of the 2 that I saw. I still think Color Out of Space is taking my best, but I didn't see Parasite.
I mean, out of the 3 I saw, Parasite was definitely the best. This is technically not. This is technically of the 3 new movies I saw this week the worst.
Yes. But it's really good.
It's really good and really fun.
Yeah, if you're looking for a fun movie to go to,
Yeah.
go see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're looking for a fucked up movie to go to, Color Out of Space is playing in
Parasite.
independent theaters.
I mean, 2 very different fucked up movies too.
Yeah. But that being said, we're over our time.
Are we?
Yep.
All right.
So that's it for this week.
It is.
All right.
All right. Bye, kids.
Bye, kids.